Our ingredients for today: chicken, rice, oranges. What an interesting combination. But you know what? We're going to make it work. And it's not going to take us a long time to have dinner on the table. So stay tuned.
Last summer, I made some orange marmalade. And to be honest with you, the recipe was much larger than I thought. So I have quite a few jars sitting on the shelf. So we're going to use one of those jars tonight. I have placed a little bit of oil in the bottom of this skillet, and we are going to cook most of the dinner right here in this skillet, and it's going to move along very quickly. Now, part of the dinner is going to be cooked on the stove, and a portion of it is going to be prepared in the oven. So my chicken thighs that I'm going to use tonight, and you can use any part of the chicken that you like, but I had chicken thighs because back when we were trying to make sure our freezers were full, chicken thighs were readily available, so that's what I have. So I have seasoned the chicken thighs, and I'm trying to get my skillet just to the temperature that I like. And so we are going to add those thighs into this pan because I want just a little bit of browning, and plus I want some of the fat from the chicken to season the entire dish. So I'm turning it down, turning the skin down so that that portion will cook first, and we're going to get all of that flavor into the pan. Now notice I have salt and pepper on the chicken thighs, and in fact I even added a little bit of garlic powder, but you know, sometimes garlic powder can burn, so I didn't want to add a lot. So the chicken thighs are in, and actually it's just the two of us, so I'm really only going to need 2 chicken thighs tonight. But I'm going to let those other 2 chicken thighs come back for another night, and we're going to use that chicken in another dish, another way. So I'm just going to let this simmer. Now I want a pretty strong orange flavor, so that means that I'm going to need to get that orange in early. So you notice that these chicken breasts are just really simmering right along, and I'm adding a few spices here and there. I've included all of that information in the description box down below, and I'm just checking it a little bit. Now, you know, under normal circumstances you leave it there until it moves on its own if you want it golden brown. But for tonight I wasn't so worried about it being perfectly golden, so I'm just trying to make sure that it's imparting the flavor that I'm looking for. Now I'm cutting some onions, I'm cutting some slicing some oranges, so you'll see that I've started adding those oranges into the skillet, and I'm putting them on the bottom of the skillet so that they'll come in contact with the juices from the chicken. And then I'm actually going to sit each of the chicken thighs on top of an orange and let the orange stay on the bottom, because it's going to be giving off its juices into the juices in the skillet. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just kind of playing around with that, making sure that it has good contact. I actually used 1 navel orange. You can use 1 orange of any variety that you happen to have. This was what I had, and this is what I used. Now you're going to see that these oranges are really going to cook down. Now I haven't gotten into the marmalade yet because I'm going to need to use that. Now here we are. I'm taking my orange marmalade. I let it come to temperature, room temperature, and I'm just spreading the marmalade on top of the chicken. And you can see those little pieces of orange rind, and I'm rubbing that all over to make sure that I have plenty of orange flavor. Now you'll see I've got to shift things around, and that's what you do when you're cooking. We're shifting it around. So I'm trying to get, he flipped over before he was supposed to. Now the reason I'm attempting to keep most of the orange marmalade on top of the chicken is because I don't want it to stick, and I don't want it to burn. I don't want the sugars that are in there to burn. So I'm spreading it out. Now I have some cooked rice already, and I'm going to talk about this while we're just waiting for all of this to simmer. I have some cooked rice. I am going to add the cooked rice into this skillet as well, because it's going to be not paella, but it's going to have that style. So we're going to add in some vegetables, we're going to add in the rice, and everything is going to take on some of the orange flavor. Now you'll see that I have added some of my rice in. I didn't get crazy with it. I knew how much basically we were going to need for tonight. And I didn't need really any extra beyond that. So I'm just taking my onions and my rice, and you see all that good juice that's down there in the bottom, and I am just working the rice around the chicken. And I'll probably have quite a bit, about half of that container or so left, but I want this rice to taste good, and we won't have to worry about any gravy or anything like that because it's all in the pot. So there's our rice, and you know, I want it to have a little bit of a charred effect, and I'm going to add in just a little bit of bouillon. And the reason for that is because while I want the orange, I do want to kick up the chicken flavor into the rice. So I'm going to add just a little bit of that into the skillet as well. So I'm going to take a little bit of the juice and just put that in. So that's where we are. That's what we're doing. We're getting that ready. And if you happen to have some chicken broth already, a box, then you can just take a little bit of your chicken broth and add it in. But I didn't. It was out, so I had to make some on the side. So I'm working on that, making sure that our skillet stays moist and that everything in there is going to be well done. So we're working on that, and I am cleaning up as we go. Now, notice, because this is on top of the stove, that the upper portion of the chicken and the rice really doesn't have much going on. So I'm letting the oven come up to temperature because I'm going to put this entire pan in the oven, the whole thing in the oven, and we are going to let it finish cooking in the oven, and it's going to start to bubble. The chicken's going to get a little brown, and even the orange marmalade is going to start to get a little crispy because of the heat, and it's going to be good. It's going to be good. So after about, I'd say 15 minutes in a hot oven. Now look at how it's bubbling. That's what we want, lots of bubbles. And so I'm just cleaning up the kitchen, making sure everything is put away, and making sure, I'm running the spoon through there because I want things to cook, but I don't want it to burn. So we have to make sure. So one taste, and to make sure it's just right. So I'm going to put it in my top oven. And take a pan out and put a pan in. There we go. And I have the oven set on 425. 425. Now, of course, could you do this low and slow? Sure, but we didn't.
Now, you know, I am having a good time cooking in the kitchen and preparing dinner for the family. And I hope you enjoy doing the same thing. And if not, stay with me, because by the time we get through, you are going to like cooking in the kitchen as well. Now, remember, here at Ebony, Ivy, and Thyme, we do things in the kitchen for the kitchen. So that involves decorating, that involves chit-chat. Sometimes that may even involve a great magazine or recipe ideas. We meal plan, and we actually cook. So this is a great place to be, and we're family. And first, let me say to those of you who are new subscribers, mwah, thank you so much. And for those of you who haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting on? Because you should have already hit that button. So if you haven't hit the button, do it right now, because I want you to be a part of the family. And I want you to come back as often as you can, because I know you have things going on, but every now and then, hey, stop by and say hello. And for those of you who are my tried and true family members and you come by all the time, thank you. I really appreciate it. And it makes me feel so much better, because keep in mind, we're in the middle of a crazy situation, or this health pandemic. Oh my goodness. And we're having to social distance, wear masks, and do all those kind of things. So the least thing we can do is to be able to sit down to a good meal. So let's do it together. Let's have a great time as a family, and let's finish up tonight's dinner.
It took exactly 20 minutes for our chicken to be ready. And when I take it out, you're going to look at it and you're going to go, wow, because the dish really did come together. It is juicy, it is slightly sweet, but not extremely sweet, in spite of the orange marmalade, because remember, the sweetness is going to be determined by the sweetness of your oranges. And in this case, our oranges were moderately sweet, not extremely sweet. And so the only sweetness will be picked up when you get a bite of those oranges that were part of the marmalade. But the chicken, oh man, it made the chicken so good. And the chicken is moist. And so I've got a plate, and I am going to get that rice and chicken out. While I was working and off camera, I prepared some green beans. And so we're going to have our rice, our chicken, our orange chicken, and some green beans. I also prepared a little marinated salad, just some that I keep in the refrigerator, to be honest with you, pretty frequently. And that is just some cut up tomatoes and cucumbers and onions. And you put some vinegar and salt and pepper and just a little bit of olive oil or grapeseed oil, whatever your preference is. And then let them marinate in the refrigerator. And I tell you what, it seems to me like the longer they stay in that refrigerator, the better they are. So I'm putting our chicken, rice, and oranges on the plate. I have my green beans ready. They're already seasoned. I'm going to take some of those out, because remember, I just took out enough for the two of us. And I'm going to put them along the side. And I'll let you see these plates because they are going to be good. So, chicken, rice, oranges, green beans, and our salad. So there we go. I'm adding the marinated vegetables on the side. And you know what? This was my last summer tomato. That was it. It is so sad. But I'll still be able to get tomatoes at the grocery because you know we love tomatoes. So there's the first plate. Yummy. We need two. So let me get that second one going. Got our chicken and oh, the rice is down at the bottom and it has soaked up those juices. So it's got a little orange flavor and it's sweet and savory. And I think that's delicious. So here's our rice. And we are really rice eaters, true Southerners. Love that rice. So let's get our chicken. Set it on top of that rice. So when you slice into your chicken, you're going to have a little chicken and a little rice all in one bite. And because the oranges have cooked down, they are tender. Oh, they're delicious. So let's get those green beans on. And then we'll add some marinated.
Wow, guys.
To the second.
What fun. Thank you for coming and thank you for having dinner with us. We love the conversation. We love when you're commenting. Now, let me ask you this question. What is your favorite meat or poultry or fish to cook with? What is your favorite? And tell me what your favorite dish is, because it might be something we can add to the menu, or it might be something that I can whip up something new for you to do with that item. So tell me down in the description box and leave me a comment and let me know what your fun item is that you just absolutely love in the kitchen. And I'll see you soon right here at Ebony, Ivy, and Thyme, where we work hard. We love God and family, and we know without a doubt that everything else is just gravy. Blessings to you and to yours, and I pray that your days are safe. And I'll see you soon right here in this kitchen.